All right, guys. Now we're going to do this little half sheet right here. You're just going to cut it in half and paste it in your interactive student notebook. And I know this is kind of blurry and not real clear on this video, but just look at your paper copy and kind of refer back and forth because you can definitely see it better on your paper copy. All right, so example 1 says which lines are parallel and which are perpendicular. Okay, so in order to know if something is parallel or perpendicular, we have to know the slope. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to find the slope of line A, we need to find the slope of line B, the slope of line C, and the slope of line D. And after we find the slope of each one, we can compare them to see which is parallel and perpendicular. All right, so line A is right here on top. And I'm just going to count, guys. I see this point here and this point here. And remember, slope is the same thing as rise over run. So up and down over left and right. Okay, you rise up and down, you run left to right. So I'm just going to count. So the slope of this is up 1 over 1, 2, 3. So the slope of line A is up 1 over 3. Okay, so that'd be the slope. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with B. So here's a point here, here's a point here. So I'm just going to count. I'm going up 1 over 1, 2. Okay, C, here's a point and here's a point. I'm going to count again. Up 1 over 1, 2. So up 1 over 2. All right, now I need to do line D. So notice the points for line D are here and here. Okay, so I'm just going to count again. So I'm going to go down 1, 2. So down 2 would be a negative 2 over 1. Okay, negative 2 over 1. So remember, same slope means what? Same slope means they're parallel. And then opposite reciprocal slopes means what? Opposite reciprocal slopes means they're perpendicular. Okay, and remember the symbol for parallel is like this, symbol for perpendicular is like an upside down T. All right, so if I look at these, I can see that lines B and line C have the same slope, so that means they're parallel. So I'm going to say B is parallel to C, and I'm going to write this in math notation. Line B is parallel to line C, that's what that says. And then opposite reciprocal slopes. So notice that D, negative 2 over 1, is the opposite reciprocal of 1/2. So I can say that D is perpendicular to C, and also D is also perpendicular to B. Okay, so here's what I know. And once again, all I had to do is count the boxes to find the slopes. All right, let's look at example 2. It says write an equation of the line passing through the point negative 1, 1 that is parallel to the line y equals 2x plus 3. All right, so what you need to ask yourself, if these are going to be parallel, that means they have the same slope. Okay, so if we look at this, remember y equals mx plus b, we always find the slope by right here. So if I look at here, my slope, which is represented by an m, is 2. Okay, so our new line that is parallel to this line here is going to have a slope of 2 as well. Okay, so now I have a slope, and I know a point that it has to pass through. So I have a point and a slope, so I'm going to put it in point slope form. And point slope form is just y minus y1 equals in parentheses x minus x1. Okay, so now it's just plugging stuff in. So my x1 is my negative 1, y1 is my 1. So y minus my y1 is 1 equals my m is 2 parentheses x minus my x1 is a negative 1. Okay, so if I rewrite this, y minus 1 equals 2 parentheses x minus a negative becomes a positive 1. Okay, now I'm going to distribute this 2 through the parentheses, so I get y minus 1 equals 2x plus 2. And then y equals mx plus b. I want y by itself, so I'm going to add 1 to both sides, and I get y equals 2x plus 3. This would be my final answer. All right, let's look at example 3 now. Okay, so this is same, but different. Okay, so now we want to write an equation of a line passing through the point 2, 3, but now we want this perpendicular to the line y equals 2x minus 3. Okay, well, if it's perpendicular, that means that these slopes must be opposite reciprocals. Okay, so the slope here is 2. So the slope here is 2, or I can write it as 2 over 1. So the opposite reciprocal of this would be, well, opposite, if this is positive, it'd be negative. And then if we flip the numerator and denominator, 1/2. Okay, so the slope of our new line is going to be negative 1/2. And we know it has to pass through the point 2, 3. Okay, well, this is our x1, this is our y1. So now we have a point and a slope. Once again, we're going to want to use point slope form, which is right here. Okay, so now it's just a matter of plugging stuff in. So I have y minus my y1 is 3 equals m, which is negative 1/2, parentheses, x minus my x1 is 2. Okay, so y minus 3 equals 1/2 x. Guys, I'm distributing this through. That's a negative 1/2 x, I'm sorry. And then a minus 1/2 times a negative 2 would be a plus 1. Okay, so add 3 to both sides to get y by itself. I'd get y equals a negative 1/2 x plus 4, and then this would be my final answer.